What makes a fighter truly great? Is it skill, heart, or the ability to keep pushing forward when everything is stacked against them? Jai Opetaia doesn't just have one of these qualities. He has them all. Born with boxing in his blood and a burning desire to be the best, Opetaia's story is anything but ordinary. From his early days in the ring to becoming a world champion, he's shown the world exactly what it means to fight with everything you've got. But the road to glory isn't always smooth, and his toughest battles are still ahead. Ready to take a deep dive into the rise of a true boxing force? Let's go! Jai Opetaia was born on January 4, 1995 in Sydney, Australia, into a family with proud Samoan roots. Fighting wasn't just something he learned. It was in his blood. From a young age, he trained under the watchful eye of his father, sharpening his skills and shaping his destiny. "Being a fighter was always who I was," he once said, and he meant it. His raw talent was undeniable. Opetaia dominated the Australian boxing scene, becoming a multiple-time champion in both junior and adult categories. On the international stage, he racked up medals, proving he wasn't just a local prodigy, he was a force to be reckoned with. He even represented Australia at the Olympics, though a controversial decision cut his journey short. But setbacks didn't define him. His response to them did. Turning pro in 2015, Opetaia wasted no time making a statement. His debut saw him dismantle a New Zealand opponent with ease. From there, he tore through every challenger in his path. Moses Ioelu in 2017, Benjamin Kelleher in 2018. Fight after fight, he kept winning. But here's the thing. He was always the favorite, always in control. He needed a real test. That test arrived on June 29, 2018, against the battle-hardened Curtis Pegoraro. This time, the stakes were higher and Opetaia delivered, ending the fight in the second round with a brutal body shot. The win secured him the IBF Pan-Pacific title and defended his WBO Asia-Pacific cruiserweight belt. His career was officially on fire. The momentum was unstoppable. He outclassed Nabosa Iowata with a dominant 8th round TKO. Then came a grueling war against Nicolas Charalampous, where he battled to a unanimous decision, adding the WBO Global Cruiserweight title to his growing collection. But the true proving ground was his showdown with fellow Aussie Mark Flanagan. Knockdowns in the 3rd and 7th rounds left Flanagan's corner with no choice. They stopped the fight after the 8th. Another belt, another dominant performance. Then came the rematch with Benjamin Kelleher in October 2020. After an 11-month layoff, Opetaia returned like he never left, dictating the fight from the opening bell. By the 5th round, he had split Kelleher's face open with a vicious shot. The bleeding wouldn't stop, and by the 6th, his corner had seen enough. Opetaia had won by TKO, defending both his IBF Asia Oceania and WBO Global Cruiserweight titles. With a flawless record of 20 wins, 16 by knockout, Opetaia was proving to be a nightmare for his opponents. His footwork was unreal, gliding in and out of range with a smoothness that made him nearly untouchable. He wasn't just winning, he was making it look effortless. His next victim? Daniel Russell. The fight was kept at a 95-kilogram weight limit, but Opetaia's power didn't need extra pounds to be lethal. In round 2, a monstrous left hook dropped Russell to the canvas. By round 3, after 2 more knockdowns, the referee had seen enough. Russell protested, but it was over. At this point, Opetaia had bulldozed through everyone put in front of him. But his biggest challenge was still ahead. On July 2, 2022, in Gold Coast, Australia, he stepped into the ring against Briedis for the IBF World Cruiserweight title. A battle-hardened warrior with an iron will. Briedis was the toughest opponent Opetaia had ever faced. This was the kind of fight that defined careers. A young, hungry challenger taking on a seasoned champion. From the moment the opening bell rang, the war was on. From the start, Opetaia's agility and speed were on full display. He danced around the ring, dodging attacks and countering with crisp punches. Briedis, however, was unfazed. The Latvian powerhouse pressed forward, landing heavy shots, making it clear that he wasn't about to relinquish his crown easily. But in the 4th round, the momentum shifted. Opetaia landed a devastating left hand that rocked Briedis, forcing the champion onto the defensive. As the rounds progressed, Opetaia's dominance began to fade. The pace of the fight took its toll, and he visibly fatigued. Briedis, ever the veteran, saw his opportunity and unleashed a barrage of attacks. The tide turned, and now it was Opetaia struggling to hold on. The fight became a grueling test of will, with both men pushing through unimaginable pain. Opetaia battling a double jaw fracture and Briedis fighting through a damaged hand. After 12 brutal rounds, the judges rendered their decision. In one of the biggest upsets of the year, Opetaia was crowned the new IBF World Cruiserweight Champion. A rematch was immediately in the works, but an injury sidelined Briedis. With the champion eager to stay active, the IBF allowed him to make a voluntary defense against Thompson. On September 30th, 2023 in London, Opetaia entered the ring against local contender Thompson. From the opening moments, it was clear the skill gap was massive. Opetaia overwhelmed his opponent with speed and precision. In the first round, Thompson barely survived the onslaught, saved by the bell. The second round was more of the same. Thompson had no answers. By the third, he was on the canvas, fighting to stay in the bout. In the fourth round, another knockdown sealed the deal. The referee waved it off, and Opetaia had defended his title in dominant fashion. But behind the scenes, trouble was brewing. The IBF demanded an immediate rematch with Briedis, despite the former champion still being injured. Unwilling to put his career on hold, Opetaia made a bold move. He vacated the title. Determined to stay active, Opetaia took on British boxer Zorro on December 19, 2023, in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. This one didn't even last a full round. With just 10 seconds left in the first, Opetaia delivered a thunderous left hook that sent Zorro crashing to the canvas. The fight was over before it had truly begun. The message was clear: Opetaia wasn't slowing down. Then came the long-awaited rematch. On May 18, 2024 in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, Opetaia and Briedis finally met again, this time for the vacant IBF title and the prestigious Ring Magazine Championship. From the opening bell, Opetaia controlled the fight with crisp combinations and elite movement. Briedis struggled to find his rhythm, unable to impose his will. But in the 10th round, he finally broke through, landing a brutal shot that sent Opetaia to the canvas. The referee, however, ruled it an illegal punch. Briedis kept pushing, rocking the Australian again in the 11th and forcing him into retreat in the final round. But Opetaia had done enough early on. When the judges read the scorecards, the verdict was unanimous. Opetaia was the champion once again. With his reign cemented, the IBF allowed Opetaia to delay his mandatory defense against Hussein Igdar to take on British boxer Jack Massey on September 25, 2024. Massey, a tough competitor, put up resistance early, but it was clear he was outgunned. By the 6th round, his corner had seen enough. They threw in the towel, awarding Opetaia another statement victory. Then came another test. On January 8, 2025, in Broadbeach, Australia, Opetaia was set to face his mandatory challenger, Hussein Igdar. But when Igdar suffered a leg injury, 29-year-old New Zealander David Nyika stepped in. Despite the short notice, Nyika brought size, power, and a solid mid-range boxing style. But Opetaia was too sharp. By the 4th round, he had complete control. A right uppercut sent Nyika down,